Hey everybody, my name is Jordan Sutton and I'm the author of Take Back What the Devil Has Stolen From You. And I'm just up here just to make a quick, brief video, like I normally do, to just talk about any random topic, I guess, that just comes to mind. I mean, that's what I've been doing kind of like on these YouTube videos. Um, Hopefully in the future, I'll plan out and write out what I will talk about. But just something that's just on my mind right now, right here, right now. Okay. Um, I want to let you know, with anybody that's watching, anybody that's listening, I want to let you know that the right thing does pay off. Okay. Now, I know it's going to feel like it's a catch. The catch is it's going to feel like it's not. All right. And days and years, I mean, so much time feels like it's just going by, and it doesn't feel like the right thing pays off. It feels like the wrong thing is rewarded. Okay. While it feels like you're up here going through what you have to go through while this person and that person take a shortcut and they get to what they want to get to faster. But there is a catch also. That is an illusion. Okay. To me, what I define an illusion is something that looks great. I guess it's created in your mind, but it has nothing to do with the actual reality of it. It has nothing to do with the reality of how it actually is. Okay, so it can appear one way that you're going to, I don't know. It seems like you're going to go ahead and reap your benefits faster, but there's a catch and there's a lot of deception when it comes down to illusions. Okay, so don't fall into an illusion of how something looks like or how it feels like or how it appears. Okay, go through what you have to go through and don't take any shortcuts. Okay, the right thing does pay off. All right, I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what it shows, what it reflects, how it seems like. God has not forgotten you. All right, so I just want to let you know that right there. And because it's funny that I'm talking about illusions. That's something that I'm going to actually include in my new book that I have coming out. Now, I know I've been talking about this new book forever, but I just want to make sure everything is right, and I want to make sure I take my time on this particular project. I took my time on the first one, really, but I really want to make sure whatever I didn't grasp the first time, I want to make sure that I get the second time. See, that's called learning from any type of mistakes that you make, okay? So catch that, catch that, catch that, okay? I'm trying to wake myself up, but it's funny that I was just talking about illusions because that's the same thing that the devil used, or whatever you like to call him, the enemy. The same thing that the enemy used in the Garden of Eden when he tried to deceive Eve. He used an illusion to make it appear as if she did eat this fruit. This is what was going to happen. That was going to happen. She was going to reap her benefits much quicker and sooner and faster, and she didn't need to go through all this process. But as you saw what happened at the end, he was just deceiving her. So Satan is still using these illusions to have you thinking and feeling like, oh, you're missing out on something. Oh, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it now. Everybody else is. Oh, excuse the background noise. I think there's a neighbor that stays across from me. His truck is extremely loud. So, I do need to get my editing skills up. But with that, what I just previously said, don't fall into illusions. Don't fall into that. Don't fall into that trap. Example could be, as what I used in one of the videos is, you want to make money, but the process that God is taking you through it feels like it's just taking too long, and everybody's getting theirs now. This is a get it now generation. This ain't no waiting for 5-10 minutes generation, and I'm part of it. So, I'm not, I'm not going to shame anybody, for that mindset. Just praying that they, have the patience, the exercise, because that patience will pay off. Okay, but they can want some money right now, but instead of going through the process of what the Lord has for them, they want to go ahead and get it their way. They want to get it now. They want to, do a lot of illegal or immoral things. But that's an illusion, because guess what comes with all of that? You can be locked up in jail. There's so many risks, so many dangers, and once you step out of his will, I'm not saying that he's not going to cover you. I think he's still going to cover you and watch out and look out for you. But there are some things you will get yourself into, because everybody has to reap what they sow. What can he do, if you won't listen to him? And what I found out also, a lesson that I learned is that if people won't listen to God, what makes you think they're going to listen to you? Because I was thinking that like not too long ago about, it's like, Lord, it's like, how can people, and these are just family members and, people that I know. It's like, Lord, how can I say all of this and pour all of this into them and they're still not listening? And I think it's all, and I learned another lesson. It's also, you have to also be wise enough to zip it. You have to also be wise enough not to say anything, because you have to know. You have to be wise enough to know when not to speak. You have to be wise enough to know if they're not going to listen. It feels like you're wasting. I'm not saying you're wasting your time, but it feels like you're wasting and you're pouring your oil on the wrong people. It's just going to waste because they still have in their mind and that they're determined that they're going to still do whatever they want to do. So don't waste your oil. Ooh, see, look, I'm just thinking about this as. Hey, look, we're just going, so I'm just thinking about this on the top of my head. But don't waste your oil. Be wise enough when to know to zip it. Be wise enough to know when to shut up. Not to say anything. Don't pour out all of your oil and your wisdom on people that's going to waste it and not do absolutely anything with it. You're going to be tired. You're going to be burned out. You're going to be drained, just tired, all the time. But that just goes back to the point that I was making. Okay, and I hope I'm not confusing anybody that's listening or watching this. But don't pour out so much wisdom and your advice, and they're not going to listen to you. If they're not going to listen to God, they won't listen to you. I remember I was asking him that, how can I pour so much into this person and that person? So many people throughout my life. And it's just like, he said, well, if they're not going to listen to me, they're not going to listen to you. And I said, okay. Okay. That made me feel a lot better. So just take that in. If they're not going to listen to God, they're not going to listen to you. Don't get me wrong. God do use people that come in people's life to bless them and to steer them a certain way. And, he has his mouthpieces and whatnot. And his people, but just be wise enough to know when not to say anything. Sometimes silence is golden. You can't help everyone, no matter how big of a heart you have. You can't want it more for somebody than they want it for themselves. Okay, but going back to the illusions and that the right thing does pay off. I want you to stay encouraged and be encouraged always, all the time. The right thing does pay off. I know it feels like it hurts. I know it feels like it takes longer. I know it feels like you just can't catch a break. But I want to let you know right here in the month of June, look here, I'm going strong. You know what I'm saying? I'm going strong, and always know that you're not the only one. That's something else that I had to kind of remind myself too. It feels like when you're going through this in a world that's so crooked and corrupt, and it always been crooked and corrupt. I think now it's just more maximized and more acceptable and socially validating than ever to kind of like do the wrong thing. But I just want to let you know you're not the only one. Take that out of your mind, because there's some other people also that's out here doing this walk as well. And it feels like nothing's paying off for them either. But stay faithful to the end. Oh my gosh. Endure until the end. It's going to be all worth it. And those people that took those shortcuts, and yeah, it seemed like things were working for them. Seems like things were working for them fine. But you're going to see how it's going to end. It's never going to end the way you think it's going to end. Okay? It's never going to end the way it's never going to end the way they think it's going to end. All right. It's going to be so much stuff that comes with that shortcut. It could have been much further. It could have been much higher, the right way. But since they took the shortcut, this is what they have to suffer. This is what they had to deal with. Everybody's going to have to go through some form of suffering. Okay. But it's better to suffer for the sake of righteousness than to suffer for the sake of, doing it your own way out of your flesh. Okay. So I just want to let you know, be encouraged. You're not the only one. There's a lot of people going through the fire with you. And even though it doesn't seem like it's a lot of people and it's not so common, I want to let you know you're not the only one. Okay. You're not the only one. Because trust me, sometimes I ask the Lord too. It's like, Lord, am I the only one? Am I the only one? Am I the only one that's waiting patiently? Am I the only one that's not trying to rush this? Am I the only one, that you got going through this process? It seems like to me, everybody is vroom, you know, they're in there. It's like they vroom. They get into where they want to go. You know what I'm saying? Quick and fast. And I'm not saying they didn't have to go through anything maybe behind closed doors. And that's just the way it appears. See, that's why we cannot fall into illusions. Okay, be careful. He's gonna, Satan will try to mess with your mind and make it seem like, oh, this person over here is doing so much better and greater, and you missing out, and just because you waiting on God. And you can be waiting on God for anything. Waiting on God to go back to school. For marriage or something, finances, employment, professions. When it comes to your profession of being promoted or something, it could be anything. So let me not make this super lengthy. I see this is already 10 minutes and 43 seconds. So anyway, y'all be encouraged. This was just a quick word. This is just something that just been on my mind. And, be encouraged. Always know that the best is yet to come. You're not alone. Don't fall into those illusions. I'm going to expand on it more, in the future. But don't fall into those illusions, because it's the same thing he used to Eve, and you saw what kind of situation Eve ended up in, and a man, and the world, okay, and human nature, period. So don't fall into those illusions. He's going to make it look good. He's going to make it look like, why are you up here going through all of this? It's just, and you don't even know that God got his arm and his protection over you. And you the one that's happy. Here's the thing. Everybody that's taking these shortcuts and putting matters into their own hands, it's like you the one that's more happy than them. But he's going to twist it and make it look like they're the ones that got it. And you don't. They're the ones that got it together, and you don't. And then you got to be careful, because some of them can size themselves up and try to brag just a little bit to make it seem like, but that's just a tactic from the devil. They really want to be where you want to be. They really wish they had the strength to stand strong and endure. Okay, but you're going to see how it's going to come out at the end. So anyway, be blessed. Always know that the best is yet to come. And I'm Joanna Sutton, and I'm the author of Take Back What the Devil Has Stolen From You. Oh, sorry about the background noise here, but hey, be encouraged. Best is yet to come. Love you. Take care. God bless.